Alexa here with the Duval Homestead, and today I'm going to show you how to make a roasted chicken. Roasted chicken is one of our family's favorite dishes. I make it at least once a week. It is so healthy for you to roast the chicken long and slow on a low temperature. This is how you get that really juicy chicken without it being dried out, but still cooked all the way through. It's so easy to make this recipe. You can make it a lot more simple than I'll show you here. So while I'm showing you how to do this, I'll let you know when you can omit something if you don't have it or add more if you want to. But what I love about making this recipe is that I'm going to show you how to put this in the oven for 90 minutes. And during that 90 minutes, you can do anything you want for your own schedule. So if you have to work during that time, or you want to go exercise, or you have to do something else, it allows you so much freedom. So I love using this slow cooking method because it takes only a few minutes to get the chicken ready, and then other than that, you're not touching it for the whole 90 minutes. And you can also, which I'm doing today, make it earlier in the day if that works better for you, and then just warm it in the oven prior to serving. If you have never made a roasted chicken before, you absolutely need to learn how to make this right now. It is one of the most important things you could learn. Once you learn how to roast your meat, like chicken and beef, you will never be scared to cook something again, because you'll learn that it is just so easy. And the other thing you can do with roasted chicken is after you're done with the chicken, you can make bone broth. So I'm going to film myself making bone broth after this chicken is done, and then that will be posted on my channel as well. So after you make the chicken, one of the best parts about the chicken is the bones. If you simmer the bones on a high temperature with water and apple cider vinegar, you will extract all of the nutrients that come from the chicken bone itself, and you can make your own homemade bone broth, which is what I have here. And I'm gonna add this bone broth to my roasted chicken in the bottom of the dish, and it's gonna be so delicious. This is instead of using any kind of chicken broth or any flavoring or store-bought bone broth, which store-bought bone broth can range anywhere between $5 and $10 from the store. And I realized that there's absolutely no reason to pay this when I started making my own bone broth. It is so easy and so tasty. So I'm gonna be posting that later, so keep an eye out for that. So for this recipe, you will need one whole chicken, and always get organic pasture raised if it's available to you. About 4.5 pounds, 4 to 5 pounds. I'm going to add chopped potatoes, carrots, a whole head of garlic, herbs, salt, pepper, and lemon. So first, you're gonna take your whole chicken and rinse it under the sink. Make sure you rinse your chicken, take out any inner giblet pieces that the chicken came with. We're not gonna use this in this recipe. And then pat it dry with a paper towel. I have a 9x13 baking dish that I use for every single one of my chicken roasts. I love this dish because I can also fill it with stuff in the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do here. So preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you're gonna cut up your veggies. So I have 2 potatoes here. You can do more if you like. Always rinse your vegetables and get organic if available. I am leaving the skin on my potatoes because they are organic. And then you want to rinse and cut your carrots. I did about 3 carrots here, cutting these into bite-sized pieces as well. And you want to save the heads of your carrots and any extra veggies you don't want, because you're gonna put that in your bone broth later if you're planning on saving this for your bone broth. And I actually feel like I have a lot of carrots here, so I might take a handful of chopped carrots as well and just set that aside, and we're gonna be putting that in the bone broth. So drizzle the bottom of your pan with olive oil, and the chicken with olive oil as well. Add a few cups of bone broth to the bottom of your pan, and the veggies. And then I'm making a little bed here for the chicken to sit. Place the chicken in the pan. And then I went and washed my hands because I'm now gonna reach into my spice jars. And so I wash my hands after I touch the chicken, and then I have my left hand touching the chicken and my right hand reaching for the spices. So that's how I do it. So I have salt, pepper, and Italian herbs. So you're gonna generously salt and pepper both sides of the chicken. And you want to salt the veggies as well. So I'm using my left hand to get the other side. Pepper. herbs. Stick it back in the spot and do the same on this side. I am also going to use garlic powder. We love the taste of garlic in the chicken. It's my favorite flavor. So I'm gonna generously sprinkle some garlic powder. Now we're gonna add actual garlic in a second, so you can skip this if you wanted. So now I'm gonna add a bunch of herbs. These I got from the store because it's winter time right now, so we don't have any fresh herbs, but you can buy like a poultry mix of herbs. So we have rosemary, oregano, sage, really good combo. And I'm gonna stuff all of these herbs into the cavity of the chicken. I'm also going to add half a lemon into the cavity. Stuff it in there, and then I'll squeeze the other half around in the juice and on the chicken. And then lastly, I'm gonna chop up a whole head of fresh garlic. And this is garlic we actually got from our local farm stand, so it's really good. And I'm actually gonna just leave the skins on here. I'm gonna throw most of them in with the chicken juice, with the bone broth and the veggies, and they're gonna just cook inside of the juice, and they're gonna be so good. When they're done, they'll just pop right out of the skin. And then the rest of them, I'm going to take them out of the skin and put them in the cavity of the chicken. So I probably have about 4 cloves here, and I'm just gonna stick these in the cavity of the chicken, and you're gonna have to kind of shove it. I like this because I didn't even have to chop the garlic, and garlic is so good for you. So now our chicken is ready to go in the oven. I also like to add a tablespoon of butter on the top, and it will just melt all around. It'll be so good. Okay, so I'm gonna stick my chicken in a 350-degree preheated oven. It looks so beautiful, and the butter on top is my favorite personal touch. All right, so now we just leave it at 350 degrees for 90 minutes. Thank you so much for cooking this roasted chicken with me today. You're going to love this roasted chicken, and once you get the hang of it, it will become a weekly staple and one of the easiest dinners that you could put on the table for anywhere from 2 to 4 to even 5 people. There's so much meat on the chicken bones that you will find this can go a really long way. We eat this for dinner, just my husband and I, but we are above average eaters. I would say especially him. He eats a lot of meat. We try to do about a half a pound of meat per person. We just eat a lot because we're very active. So this chicken will last us one dinner, and then we will have leftovers as well, especially when you add all of the potatoes and the carrots and the extra veggies on the bottom. It gives you a lot more to your meal. And what I like about it is that it's a complete meal. So everything is in just one dish, and all I have to do now is clean up the cutting board, and that's it. I'm so excited that you have learned how to roast a chicken. If you haven't learned that skill already, I'll probably do more videos like this if you want about roasting beef and all sorts of other meat, and in different ways. When you are done with the chicken after you've eaten it, just strip all the rest of the meat off the bones and then keep that meat for leftovers. You can make chicken and cheese quesadillas, you can make chicken pot pie. You can make so many things with that leftover chicken. You can put it in soup for chicken soup. So take all of the meat off the bones that's left and then keep the bones. You can either put them in the fridge or put them in the freezer if you can't make bone broth quite yet. And then go check out my bone broth video to see how to use those bones to make free and easy bone broth. If you're new to my page, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and like on Facebook. I post new recipes like this. I always do farm to table, very natural foods. Everything's always organic in our house. I also like to post healthy living and natural living and homesteading from our homestead in Duval. As always, if you like this video, feel free to share it with someone that you think would like it as well. And thank you so much for stopping by our farmhouse.